mobilizing manpower. Should get 4%. 1.5% from this guy. 2.5% from limit conscription, which I got. Then depends. I'd actually get more manpower fraction in the long run. If, you know, the sees the means of production, even with that guy who doesn't have the 1.5%, once I'm at like all adults serve. Because 15% on all adults serve factor is like 3%. In fact, at service requirement, they'd be more or less equal. This guy'd still be slightly ahead because I do have a factor that acts on him or will. And I reorganize the army or something. I think one of these gives a higher factor. And definitely the industry does. Oh well. So when I do that, if I roll back to day 0 at some point, I'll get more manpower than I could ever get in this run. And access to international markets and more industry. And the chance to not be clawing things back from the edge of oblivion. Strategically. Fun. Alright, tech juggling is the next thing. May 4th. Oh, definitely sent everything here. There's, yeah, just a few continuation bits of equipment game does, so you get XP from their use of it. I'm not sure if they have to be in a faction or what for that, but still got some newer rifles to send them and other stuff. Alright, let's modify this long lease. Cancel that. It doesn't show how many convoys they need for the new long lease. 48. 236 convoys. Uh, 55. Give them all the newest rifles I got. Anti-tank guns. I'll eventually have more advanced ones my own needs. Some really old artillery. You know what? Artillery's heavy. Instead of artillery, really terrible quality stuff. Trucks. $1,400 trucks. Air guns. They're facing a lot of American aircraft. These older anti-tank guns. There's no MIO even for support equipment. I should probably not send so much support equipment. Stockpile a bunch of that so I can make less myself. Can't even get, unless I like puppeted Norway, any MIO support equipment. It's annoying. Okay, and artillery pieces. Can't possibly send them all this, can I? Nope. Close. 590 of 607 needed convoys. 590 of 99. There we go, 589. Probably even a few other things. 586 convoys. Get one more artillery piece in there. Yep. Well, a few of these rifles. Filling in the space, it's left with a few more rifles. Alright, there we go. 17. A whole bunch more stuff. Arm them to teeth and maybe they'll pose some risk to the United States. Maybe. Planes in reserve. Oh, yeah. You know what? Return these fighter wings to reserves. I can one-lease those. And the interwar carrier airframe. These are really, really old aircraft. I don't have any carriers. What? Walker Nimrods, yeah, I'm just gonna exercise these into oblivion for a little air XP. You know what? No. No. Let's send all this stuff on. Let's start Hungary. How would you like some aircraft? Wait, shouldn't I have some of the... Okay, should be some Hawker Furies listed. Whatever. Your artillery pieces. Cool. We have 93 convoys? Really? Cool. Them some rifles too. The more reliable stuff for the Soviets because they fight a much lower supply areas and more likely to suffer attrition. Let's see if I can still create that later. Yeah, it's it's gonna be a while even until I can do air volunteers, and I'm worried the US, if I get them the equipment earlier, it'll start being beneficial right away. And they may already have really experienced pilots who just, actually the new guys will just, new planes means new pilots anyways, but when a wing loses pilots, the more experienced pilots are, the harder it is to maintain, so it's actually better to add some new aircraft to an experienced air wing. Okay, the Madston rifles should go into something. This is gonna... What else? What else? Oh, excavation tech, in theory. Well, I'm gonna get tech boosts from industry, maybe not. Oh. Rocket artillery, right? If steel is going to be in wicked shortage, which it will be, I can buy some tungsten. Rocket artillery is like before. It can be a valuable thing. Start some rocket artillery research. $13 days, so it doesn't efficiently convert at all, or there was some loss. Maybe there was a little overflow went into these. Yeah. Gah. Oh well. Spilt milk or something. Soviet Union is influencing our politics, huh? For a long time, the Soviet government has sought to line the path of our countries. It has expressed a great interest in Danish politics. Recently, this intensified when the VKB started pushing their communist propaganda with a number of speeches and reading materials distributed to the Danish people. Now, even a number of politicians and other officials are being swayed by the Soviet propaganda and have started advocating for communism in the Danish civil union. But I'm already communist. Maybe they're pushing Stalinism, not Trotsky. I don't know. It actually increases ruling party popularity. Increases my stability, so thanks, I guess. Certainly need that. Should save before testing this. Probably was a matter of maybe there was... Check the saves. Was there some overflow that went into these rifles? Check the saves. Check the videos. I can speak out against rearmament now. Put up powers on mid. Yep. But when selected is... Yep, now I'm 10% on the side of low welfare spending. Was I already in that range? I think it was considered low military spending before. Yeah, stuff is over the cap by 5% or so. So yeah, I was considered low military spending. Now I'm getting a boost to population growth at the expense of military output. Also faster infrastructure construction speed and civ. Slower mill, but population bonuses and research speed bonuses will pay off eventually. Rearming now would pose grave danger to countries. Could easily be seen as a hostile action by nearby powers. We cannot risk angering a larger neighbor right now since we have no way of defending ourselves. It's a much stronger military. Well, that's true. Not a prayer of beating any of the real big boys. Instead, growing the population will give me stronger military years down the line here. these rifles done as soon as possible. It's probably worth lots of few research days if it was just an efficiency in the conversion to sure I can get modern assault rifles, so Soviets nice and early. There are isles with a tiny population. In the multiplayer game with Joe, I might have him. Eventually, the Danes will rebel if I play as Norway. Have him puppet the Faroe Isles. And then, because he'll be involved in civil war, have him puppet Jan Mayen, which, yeah, owner of Capitalist Norway, so he should be able to do that. And he can have, you know, puppets out here, and if Iceland can be taken in time. Problem is, they can swap sides with the Americans if they're subject someone at war. So probably just let them annex Iceland, but then I'll want his help to get Greenland. Annex and eventually form a collab government. Presumably, with the repeatable decisions to here, Anglia actually has less stability than the People's Republic of Norway, but presumably with, unless they get something adds to compliance growth. Just check. Nope. He has support trade unions' decisions to add to his base stability, so presumably have higher stability and be able to more efficiently govern Iceland than I would as Norway. But Norway does have things that target Greenland, so, or no, Denmark does. So I'll probably would annex that. Annex it. No, by that point, the Danes would be puppeted back in action. They would have rebelled, and then I'd give it to the Danes. Give them Greenland back. Or in this version, they never had it. Type in the multiplayer, I'd be playing as Norway. Denmark might rebel, but I don't know what'll happen if they... Well, they will. Because they'll do the whole independence thing, and then when they're beat back down, I don't know if their focus tree gets locked, and if they lose everything but, like, part of it, like I was when I was a puppet here. And if so, if it's that plus capitulation lock or just a limited focus tree. Won't be able to go for independence again, though, because I've already run this focus. Their tree is true a lot. There's no point giving Greenland. And then I would probably, depending on whether their tree is locked or not and how much of it they have access to, either keep Jutland, because they would eventually still get independence through the autonomy system, through having running decisions over and over that get increased independence desire, and that increases autonomy gain. Eventually they become in reasonable time independent. I'd occupy Jutland and form a collab government if they have no ability to get their agricultural development focuses in the multiplayer game. If they do, then I might give it back to them. So I could collab government, annex the collab government and do that, but that would probably be too slow. Save up days to juggle into atomic research. Or into towed rocket artillery. That might be better. I'm certain there was nothing juggled into that, so I should be able to do that. Yeah. Outdated equipment. Oh. Yeah, now I can produce brand new advanced anti-tank. I'm assuming there's more retention when upgrading for improved than other unrelated stuff. The flexible production lines the AI chose. Boom. point than really old anti-air or outdated rifles. Rifles you can afford to just deprioritize the lower tech stuff and equip everyone with the modern, whereas artillery, it's much more expensive, so. Anyways, I'll eventually be able to give nice, shiny, new advanced artillery pieces to the Soviets and assault rifles. Make them a threat to the US military. Alright, there's the Madston rifles. Get started on these. 94.4% reliable. They don't have as much self-attack as they could because stupid AI chose bolt action rifles instead of semi-automatic. But now that this more higher priority in some ways, well, maybe not than the advanced artillery, it's already at high production efficiency. Certainly more important than the cruisers for steel, though. Trucks. Eventually, when this reaches higher efficiency, I'll swap with artillery. Rifles and artillery, high priority. Trucks, there's way too many I've got, so not so high priority. Tanks, not the most efficient. Stockpile a bunch of support equipment eventually. Take some factories or all of them off of support equipment. Convert this line to something else, probably. Stupid, I create a few really big lines, but whatever. But I need probably tanks instead of support equipment. Just have a huge support equipment stockpile. For a long time, not produce any. Stockpile lasts me well into any war. Fighter lines, rifle lines, artillery. Still too many rifles, but it'll be a long time before I can afford to take, I guess, trim a few factories off the rifles, or I can just keep giving them excess to Soviets. That's probably fine. Grow my infantry and my own more. % higher production efficiency gain. For a while, this would be better in the long run. Better to have the soft attack and breakthrough. Still, get all the way down this line. Eventually grab these. Still produce very good rifles. Trucks never go obsolete. Probably just keep these two lines in trucks. So yeah, there'll be all sorts of tank stuff. So probably just keep this running. There's top-notch anti-aircraft artillery. This can be used to equip support companies, like support artillery companies. They'll also maybe have line self-propelled anti-air someday. Maybe not anti-air, self-propelled guns, maybe. Since I do intend to produce enough fighters to try and contest the skies seriously. If that's at all possible. But it won't be, I definitely won't be able to get past Yo Air, so I'll need, won't be able to, say, do a ton of dive bombing without losing lots of CAS. I'll still do it anyways, and there's combat with stuff, so anti-tank guns. But yeah, self-propelled guns, that might be the type of tanks that I produce first. Or for a long time. True, you know, breakthrough tanks are very expensive in this tech level, where, you know, even infantry equipment has very high piercing. Alright. 5, I could actually not have to cut this video in two. Stuff into towed artillery, stuff into towed rocket artillery, I should say. Maybe an efficiency in juggling of techs. Definitely need better anti-air guns. So yeah, anti-air upgrade. This also helps state anti-air. Juggle this now. So in 30 days I can start. Or I could juggle into the anti-air line. Something. Let's juggle one of them. Rocket artillery is more important. I have to have lots of soft attack. Air, anti-air. Well, I can always have aircraft in the skies. Cool. Check those steel shortages. Buy 6 more steel from the Shiro Nation. Chirua, whatever. Yep. Maybe tungsten. Now that using advanced anti-tank instead of improved. I'm gonna give me 5 more. Kingdom of Baratsland. Where the heck is that? Oh, east of Angola. Also known as Zambia. Or it can be released to Zambia. Interesting. Cool. That's most of my resource shortages, especially when it's just going to military industry ahead of the infrastructure. It's less efficient. This would be a good time to buy some oil. Not from the US. Iraq might eventually get invaded by Central Powers. But or Azerbaijan. I don't know what the Soviets are doing with Iraq. They're taking the communist influence. That from well, they've definitely done Middle East diplomacy. See a Soviet war goal. Air fascist politician, right? Wow. Iraq could be a prize, and honestly, the way Central Powers can win is if they conquer it someday. So I'll give them industry so it's more built up. As well as the mythical Venezuelan oil, and though Venezuela doesn't exist on the map in this all history. Until I finish the infrastructure, it'll be good to buy that oil for a while. Stockpile it up. It'll slowly deplete going into naval exercises. Alright. Form my intelligence agency. This is, I guess, the historical name of it. I'm just gonna call this Danish People's Intelligence. We'll use the historical name. But, start on upgrades, but... Well, the very first thing I'm going to be doing is propaganda operations. I gotta remember that. Boost ideology. Psychological warfare. Yeah, I'll do an operator right off the line. Of course, likewise, training centers can give me better agents, but only once these guys go out of style. Yeah, I'll just start in psychological warfare immediately. Guess not such a good time to buy oil anymore. Or tungsten. I guess we'll keep doing steel, because that's the most short resource in the game. In many ways. And I want to produce stuff that needs steel. Ahead. Alright. It's going to be a while until I even finish this infrastructure in the Faroe Islands. To figure out what to run next, but I'm going to save this, cut this video, and I'll see you all later. Until next time, take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves and me. Always find a guiding star lead you on to do. Best luck.